All right, is everyone in position? Check in now, please.
Tactical position secured. Setting up scanners on the eastern ridge.
Western ridge locked down. Got eyes on the entire valley from up here.
I'm definitely in position. Absolutely.
Which position, Krakon?
The good one, with the rocks and stuff.
Oh, for God's sake. Are you on the northern ridge like we discussed in the briefing?
Yeah, totally. Northern Ridge. That's exactly where I am.
He has no idea where he is, does he?
Of course not. Krakon, what's your actual location?
Well, I can see a bunch of trees, and there's a cliff, and some birds.
That describes the entire mountain range, you idiot. Send your coordinates.
Right, coordinates. Actually, a photo probably makes more sense.
That's the southern slope. You're literally at the opposite end from where you should be.
In my defense, south and north are very similar concepts.
How are we ever going to catch Gordona with this level of incompetence? We'll be lucky if we don't all die.
Gordon? Who?
Oh my god, tell me you're joking.
What? Was I supposed to know something about a Gordon?
Gordona! The entire reason we're on this mission. The monster we're hunting. The one from the 3-hour briefing yesterday.
Oh, that briefing. I might have been a little indisposed.
You were drunk off your ass. We all saw you. You kept trying to arm wrestle the hologram projector.
It was giving me looks. Very judgmental looks.
We're hunting one of the top 5 most dangerous monsters on the planet, and our team leader doesn't even know what it looks like. We're all going to die.
Relax. I'll figure it out. I always do.
Use that new AI chatbot they gave us. The Teller. It has all the monster databases integrated.
Oh yeah, good idea. I'll give that a try.
Meanwhile, I'm deploying the heavy artillery. If this thing is as big as they say, I want to be ready.
Don't get cocky. Gordon has killed entire squads before. That's why the bounty is so high.
Exactly. Do you know how many credits we're going to get for this? I'm going to buy that new plasma cannon I've had my eye on.
I'm sending up the drone now. We need to know which direction it's coming from. Getting aerial feed now.
See anything?
Not yet. The thermal scanners should pick up something that size. It can't hide forever.
Oh, I don't think it's hiding. It doesn't need to. Gordona doesn't fear hunters. It eats them.
That's encouraging. Thanks for that.
Just being realistic. Unlike some people, I actually paid attention at the briefing.
I'm messaging that AI now. I'll be an expert on Gordon before you know it.
Gordona, with an A. God help us all.
Hey, AI thingy. You there?
Greetings, Hunter Krakon. I am the Teller, your mythological and cryptozoological information database. How may I assist you today?
Yeah, so we're hunting something, right? And I need to know what the hell it is.
I'd be delighted to provide information. Could you specify which entity you're pursuing?
It's called Gordona, apparently, with an A at the end. That's important for some reason.
Ah, Gordona, one of the ancient and most feared entities in our catalogue. Would you like a brief overview or a detailed analysis?
Give me everything you've got and make it quick. I'm supposed to be hunting this thing right now.
Very well. Gordona is a creature first documented in ancient Greece, circa 732 BCE. It is classified as a Class 5 Behemoth-type entity. Current threat assessment places it as the 5th most powerful known monster in the world.
Wait, seriously? Number 5, question mark. Question mark. Out of everything?
Indeed. Only Torithra, Leviatax, Chronolith, and Scythe Tower rank higher in terms of raw destructive capability. Gordona typically inhabits mountainous regions, particularly valleys and canyons. It uses its immense size to create natural traps for prey.
How big are we talking?
Gordona averages 120 meters in length and 40 meters in height. Its mass is estimated at approximately 8,000 tons. For comparison, that's roughly the weight of the Eiffel Tower.
Holy crap! And we're supposed to kill this thing.
Your confidence is admirable, if perhaps misplaced. Gordona has a unique hunting strategy. It positions itself at the narrow end of valleys, then uses its incredible roar to cause avalanches and rock slides. This drives prey toward it with no escape route.
That's actually pretty smart for a giant monster.
Indeed. Gordona has demonstrated problem-solving capabilities far beyond most creatures of its classification. It has even been observed using terrain features strategically during past encounters with hunter teams.
What about weaknesses? Everything's got a weak spot, no?
Gordona's primary vulnerability is its throat region. When it opens its mouth to roar, the tissue there is temporarily exposed. Additionally, its sensory organs located along its spine can be targeted to disorient it. However, approaching close enough to target these areas has proven fatal for 87% of hunters who have attempted it.
That's a pretty bad success rate.
It is indeed suboptimal. Would you like me to provide the documented survival strategies that have proven most effective against Gordona?
Yeah, go for it.
The most successful approach has been a coordinated attack from multiple elevations. Gordona can only focus its defensive capabilities in one direction at a time. Heavy artillery deployed from ridge positions has occasionally penetrated its armored hide. However, However, this typically only angers it rather than killing it.
So we piss it off, then what?
The killing blow must come from a precision strike to one of its vulnerable points. This requires perfect timing and coordination among team members. No single hunter has ever defeated Gordona alone. The creature's hide can withstand temperatures of up to 3,000 degrees Celsius and pressures exceeding 500 atmospheres.
And they sent 4 of us? Fantastic.
Your team composition suggests Command believes in your capabilities, or perhaps they simply calculated an acceptable loss ratio. Statistical analysis indicates your team has a 22% chance of success. Would you like me to continue?
That's so reassuring, but yeah, keep going.
Gordona's last confirmed sighting was 76 days ago in the Carpathian Range. It was responsible for the destruction of 2 mining outposts and the deaths of 214 individuals. Satellite tracking suggested it was moving into your current region. If standard patterns hold, it will be seeking a new hunting ground.
And that's here, in this valley?
Correct. The topography of your location provides an ideal hunting ground for a creature of Gordona's size and preferences. I should warn you that Gordona has evolved significant resistance to conventional weaponry. Even military-grade explosives have proven largely ineffective.
Hey AI, you're actually pretty good at this. Way better than the old databases.
Thank you, Hunter Krakon. I was designed to provide comprehensive tactical information. My databases contain records of all known monster encounters and mythological references. Is there anything else you'd like to know about Gordona?
Yeah, one last thing. What does it look like? So I know what I'm shooting at.
Gordona resembles a massive serpentine creature with elements of both reptile and insect. It has an armored exoskeleton covering most of its body. The head features 3 pairs of glowing sensory organs that function like eyes. Its most distinctive feature is the crown-like crest of bone that extends from its skull. When threatened, this crest expands to nearly triple its size. This is the last known picture of it we have.
Well, that's horrifying. Thanks for the nightmare fuel.
You're welcome. Good hunting, Krakon. May you fare better than the previous 7 teams.
7 teams? Wait, what?
I've already said too much, but I'm programmed to wish you good luck.
All right, guys, I'm back from my post-briefing briefing, and now I know everything about Gordona, so we can finally get this show on the road. Hey, anyone?
Where have you been? We've been trying to reach you for 10 minutes.
Excuse me? I was getting intel. What's with all the panic?
Are you not seeing this? Look at the drone feed.
What am I looking at?
That's Gordona, or what's left of it.
That's Gordona? But it's...
Dead. Very dead. Something tore it apart.
Hold up. The AI told me Gordona is the 5th most dangerous monster in the world. What could possibly kill something like that?
That's what we're trying to figure out. Look at this. Something burrowed through solid rock. The hole is at least 50 meters wide.
So whatever killed Gordona is still around?
Yep, and that's the exact problem. We were equipped to handle Gordona, not whatever did this to Gordona.
I told Command this mission felt off, but no one ever listens to me.
Let's not panic. We need more information.
I'm scanning for any biosignatures, but nothing's coming up. Whatever it is, it's not on the surface.
Should we call for extraction? This is way above our pay grade.
Not yet. If we go back empty-handed, we get nothing. But if we can at least identify what did this...
Always about the money with you. Something killed a Class 5 monster like it was nothing. And you want to stick around?
Just a little longer. Jagroni, can you get a drone inside that hole?
Already on it. Sending Drone B into the tunnel now. Signal might get spotty once it's deeper.
I'm setting up proximity sensors around my position. If anything bigger than a rabbit comes within 100 meters, we'll know.
Good thinking.
Drone B is entering the tunnel. It's massive in there. Looks like it goes deep into the mountain.
I don't like this. Not one bit.
Does anyone else feel that?
Feel what?
A vibration through the ground.
Yup! Seismic activity detected. Minor tremors. Could be aftershocks from whatever created that tunnel.
Or it's coming back. Drone feed from tunnel?
Drone B is 200 meters in. Still no visual on anything. Oh, crap. I'm picking up movement. Something's in there.
What is it? Can you get a visual on it?
Negative, but the thermal sensors are going crazy. Whatever it is, it's massive.
The tremors are getting stronger. Everyone feel that?
Yeah, I definitely feel that.
These are no tremors. It's movement. Something huge is moving under us.
Jagroni, get that drone out of there. Now! If we lose visuals, we will be doomed.
Trying, but... Oh god, it's coming. It's coming fast.
Everyone move. Get off your ridges.
The whole mountain is shaking. It's like an earthquake.
No, not like an earthquake. It is an earthquake. The monster is in the mountain.
What? That doesn't make any sense.
Drone A picking up massive structural failures. The entire range is destabilizing.
We need immediate extraction.
Crap! The communications are down. We're on our own.
If comms are down, we all need to get to higher ground. Establish a direct line of sight with base.
Higher ground? The ground itself is the enemy. Look!
Then we need to activate the emergency beacon. Send all the data we have. Jagroni, can you package everything and send it?
Working on it. Sending drone footage and sensor readings now, along with our coordinates. I'll have the reporter A, I generate an emergency assessment.
It's getting worse. The ground is splitting open.
Whatever this thing is, it must go far beyond even a Class 1 monster. The damn bastard must be so massive that it's affecting the entire tectonic plate.
That's impossible, though. Nothing's that big.
Tell that to whatever just killed the 5th most dangerous monster on the planet, like it was swatting a fly.
Is the data sent, Jagroni?
Almost. 90% uploaded, but the network is unstable. Come on, come on.
We're running out of time. The whole ridge is about to go.
Done. Data sent. The reporter AI should be generating its analysis now.
Good. Now let's get the hell out of here. Everyone to the extraction point.
There's no time. The mountains are about to collapse. See you in hell, boys.
Emergency bulletin. Gordana mission failure detected. Loss of contact with Hunter Team Alpha 7. Final transmission. Received 1432. GMT. Processing final data package. Initiating preliminary analysis. Stand by for full report.
What happened? Give me details.
Processing final transmission from Hunter Jagroni. Analyzing drone footage. Compiling seismic data. Target assessment. Please stand by.
Cut the processing crap. I need answers now. What happened to my team?
Analysis complete. Mission status. Catastrophic failure. Team Alpha 7 status. Presumed deceased. Target status. Not Gordana.
Not Gordana? What does that mean?
Team Alpha 7 discovered Gordana's remains upon arrival. Evidence indicates Gordana was killed by an unknown entity. Drone footage shows massive tunnel system beneath mountain range. Final moments of transmission indicate complete geological collapse of hunting zone.
Show me the footage.
Displaying final drone imagery.
My God, and this is what killed a Class 5 too? What do the seismic readings even say? Can our equipment even register this kind of damage?
Seismic activity detected across 47-kilometer radius. Pattern indicates movement rather than natural tectonic activity. Estimated mass of entity. Calculation error. Exceeds parameters. Extrapolated size of entity. Calculation error. Exceeds parameters.
Your calculations are wrong, goddammit. Run them again.
Recalculating. Implementing expanded parameter set. Preliminary estimate suggests entity mass exceeds 1.7 million tons. Preliminary size estimate suggests entity length exceeds 4,000 kilometers.
No, surely not. Run diagnosis on your systems again.
Systems functioning within normal parameters. No errors detected. Data integrity at 98.7%. Conclusion. Unknown entity is unprecedented in recorded monster history.
How reliable is this data? Could there be another explanation?
Hunter Jagroni's final report included thermal imaging, acoustic analysis, ground-penetrating radar data, all confirm presence of massive organism. Survival probability of Hunter Team Alpha 7, 0.03%. Confidence in entity assessment, 92.8%.
Categorize this entity compared to known monster classes.
Current monster classification system insufficient. All known. Class 1 entities are significantly smaller. Tarathra, current number 1 ranked monster, has estimated mass of 52,000 tons. Entity appears to reside primarily within Earth's crust. Capability assessment, planet altering.
Threat assessment.
If entity continues current behavior pattern, extinction, level threat. Conventional military response, ineffective. Nuclear response, potentially ineffective. Current containment protocols, inadequate.
What's its current trajectory then?
Insufficient data for accurate prediction. Last detected movement heading southwest. If maintained, entity would approach populated areas within 72 hours. Potential civilian casualties, 12.7 million in immediate zone.
Give me your immediate recommendation.
Immediate actions required. 1. Deploy elite hunter units to establish perimeter. 2. Initiate civilian evacuation of vulnerable population centers. 3. Activate all Class 1 response protocols. 4. Prepare for extinction threat level. Recommended. Special action. Deploy Zethers unit.
The Zethers? We haven't activated them in years.
Current situation meets all criteria for Zethers deployment. No other hunter unit has sufficient experience with Class 1 entities. Threat assessment indicates Zethers is the only viable response option. Recommendation urgency. Critical.
What's their current readiness status?
Zethers core team members. Howersid. Active. Currently on leave in northern sector. Patardi. Active. Stationed at Western Forward Base. Menziki. Active. Training recruits at Central Academy. All 3 can be mobilized within 6 hours.
I'll make the call. Continue monitoring the situation. I want updates every 30 minutes.
Understood. Generating ongoing situation reports. Alert level upgraded to OMEGA. All global defense networks notified.
One more thing. Does this entity have a designation yet?
No official designation assigned. Proposed classification Behemoth Ultra. Suggested designation Behemoth.
Behemoth, how fitting. Jotun Hayes, we have a situation.
Oh yeah? The Gordona hunt?
Far worse. We lost the team.
What? All of them? How is that possible?
They found Gordona dead. Something killed it.
Jesus Christ, Naughty. How big are we talking then? Another Class 1?
The reporter AI calculates it's over 4,000 kilometers long.
What? That can't be right. Is that even possible?
That's what I said. But the data is solid. This thing moves through the Earth's crust like a whale through water. It collapsed an entire mountain range.
Dear God, what are we dealing with here?
Something beyond our classification system. I'm calling it Behemoth.
Makes sense. What's our response plan? Conventional forces won't do anything against something that size.
I'm activating the Zethers.
The Zethers? Are you sure that's necessary?
If this thing decides to surface near a major city, we're looking at casualties in the millions, maybe tens of millions.
The Zethers are good, the best we have, but against something that can kill Gordona like it's nothing?
Well, they're our only hope. Hawakid, Patadi, and Menziki have faced Class 1 monsters before. They might be able to come up with a plan.
We should consider worst-case scenarios. If this behemoth can't be stopped, we may need to look at more final solutions.
What are you suggesting?
The nuclear option. Multiple warheads, strategically placed. Maybe we can't kill it, but we might drive it deeper into the crust.
And risk catastrophic tectonic destabilization. The cure could be worse than the disease.
I'm just saying, we need to have all options on the table. This isn't a normal hunt. This is potentially an extinction-level event.
I know. That's why I'm calling in the best of the best. I need you to prepare a full briefing for the Zethers. Everything we have on Behemoth. All the data from the lost team.
I'll have it ready within the hour. What about evacuation protocols?
Already initiated. We're clearing a 100-kilometer radius from the last known location. But if this thing changes direction...
Let's hope the Zethers can come up with something. Otherwise, we might be looking at the end of everything.
They won't fail. They can't fail. The fate of humanity depends on it.
I'll start making the preparations.
Potardi, Menziki, we've got one hell of a situation on our hands.
Oh, I was just about to take some leave as well.
No leave, not anymore.
Sounds serious. What's the call?
Just got word from Section Generals. It's an Omega-level threat.
Omega? They haven't issued that classification in years.
Last time was the Chronolith incident, and we barely survived that.
This is nothing like that. It is hundreds of times more powerful than Chronolith.
Jesus, what the hell are we dealing with then?
They're calling it Behemoth. It killed Gordona.
Gordona? The Class 5? How? That thing is practically indestructible.
According to the reports, it bit Gordona in half, like it was nothing.
No way. Gordona's hide can withstand tank shells.
Well, this thing didn't seem to notice. And that's just the beginning.
There's more?
It collapsed an entire mountain range, just by moving underneath it.
Size estimate?
The AI calculations say over 4,000 kilometers.
That can't be right. Gravity wouldn't allow that to exist. Not even Tarathra comes close.
That's what I thought, but the seismic data backs it up. This thing is massive beyond anything we've encountered.
And where is the Mountain Eater now?
Moving through the Earth's crust. Last readings had it heading southwest, toward populated areas.
Well, looks like retirement will have to wait. Again.
If those calculations are correct, how are we supposed to fight something like that?
That's what we need to figure out, and fast.
We've taken down big ones before. Remember the Hydrovacs in the Pacific? Everyone said that was impossible too. And then there it was, lying dead on the beach soon after.
This is very, very different. Hydrovacs was what, 300 meters? We're talking about something thousands of times larger.
Size isn't everything, you know? Every creature has a weakness.
Let's hope you're right, because if not, we're looking at an extinction-level event.
Well, that would put a damper on my weekend plans.
Not the time, Menziki.
Just trying to lighten the mood. So what's the plan?
We're being called in for a full briefing. All data from the Lost team is being compiled. In the meantime, let's review what we know about the top 5 monsters. Maybe there's a clue there.
I've hunted 3 of the top 5. Never Gordona, though.
I helped take down Scythe Tower 2 years ago. That was supposed to be impossible too, but we found that weak spot in its central nerve cluster.
Exactly. We need to approach this systematically. What worked against Class 1 monsters in the past.
Laurentados was vulnerable to extreme cold. We lured it to the Arctic and froze its outer shell, then penetrated the softened hide with ballistic missiles.
Good memory, but I doubt we can lure something living in the Earth's crust to the Arctic.
Leviatax had those gills. Once we forced it to surface, it couldn't process oxygen properly, made it sluggish, easier to target.
That might be more relevant. If this thing lives deep in the crust, maybe it can't function well on the surface.
Or maybe it functions better. We can't assume. Remember Chronolith? We thought water would slow it down.
And instead, it just got stronger. Nearly cost us Tokyo.
That was a close one. Still have the scars from that mission, but we did it. Found that thermal weak point eventually.
After half the team was lost.
But look, none of that crap is gonna work against this thing. But then again, something that lives in the Earth's crust could be vulnerable to open air, or could be totally immune to our weapons.
That's the problem. We have no precedent for this. Nothing in our database matches this profile.
So we're going in blind. Wouldn't be the first time.
But it could be the last if we fail.
Hell no. We're the Zethers. This is what we were trained for.
I know. I just want to be realistic about our chances. The SGs are already talking about nuclear options.
Against something that can move through solid rock? That would just piss it off.
Exactly. Which is why we need to come up with something better.
What about Torithra? Could we use it?
Use it? How?
Monster versus monster. We could find it, let them fight, then deal with whatever's left.
That's actually not bad thinking. Risky, but not bad.
I like it. It's crazy, but so is this whole situation.
We need approval from the highest levels. So maybe let's think of some other ideas, yeah?
What about underwater? If we could somehow force it into the ocean, the pressure at deep sea trenches might affect it.
That's another angle to consider. We'd need a way to lure it, or force it. Regardless, we need options to present at the briefing.
Third option is the direct approach. Find a vulnerable spot. Hit it with everything we've got. Every hunter, every weapon. A global last stand.
Hopefully it won't come to that, but we should prepare for it anyway.
So that's 3 plans. A. Monster versus monster. B. Force it underwater. C. Direct confrontation.
Let's refine each approach. Potardi, you research the Torathra option. Find out what it would take to transport and release it.
On it.
Menziki, look into the ocean. See if it'll actually fit.
Will do. Might need to call in some favors at the biogeography division.
Do whatever it takes. I'll work on the direct approach and coordinate with the SGs on evacuation plans.
Just like old times. World-ending threat. Impossible odds. 3 of us against oblivion.
Let's hope it ends like old times too, with us still breathing.
And the monster dead.
We'll reconvene in 3 hours. Bring everything you found, no matter how small.
Understood.
Roger that, boss. We've got this. This behemoth doesn't know who it's messing with.
Let's make sure it finds out.
Notrenim, have you briefed the Zethers?
Just finished. They're already working on multiple strategies.
Good. At least we've got our best on it.
If anyone can handle this, it's them. Howard had sounded confident. Well, as confident as anyone can be facing something this big.
Speaking of which, the reporter just sent me something. You need to see this.
What is it?
This was Tarkania City. Population 287,000.
God almighty. When did this happen?
3 hours ago. The creature surfaced briefly, just enough to level everything, then disappeared back into the ground.
Casualties?
Still counting, but initial estimates suggest over 200,000.
So it's hunting. After killing Gordona, it's developed a taste.
For humans?
For anything, it's moving up the food chain.
Tarkania wasn't even in its projected path. It changed course deliberately, headed straight for the population center.
So it's intelligent too, or at least has hunting instincts.
This changes everything. If it can target cities specifically,
then nowhere is safe, not until we stop it.
And if we can't stop it, we need to start thinking about long-term survival.
I take it you mean the bunkers?
Exactly. The fortress bunkers were designed to withstand Class 1 monster attacks. But this is something else entirely.
Can they be upgraded?
Possibly. We'd need to reinforce the foundations, go deeper, add more layers of shock absorption.
How quickly?
If we redirect all available resources, maybe a week. But we'd be talking about limited capacity.
How limited?
5% of the global population, at most.
Unacceptable. We need more capacity, or more bunkers.
We don't have time for more bunkers, goddammit. But we could potentially expand the existing ones. Maybe get to 10% capacity?
That's still 90% of humanity with nowhere to go.
I know, but that's the best we've got. This is an extinction-level threat. If the Zethers fail...
They won't fail.
But if they do, someone has to survive, to rebuild.
God, I never thought we'd be having this conversation.
None of us did. But here we are. So what do you say? Do I start the bunker upgrades?
Yes, but quietly. We can't cause a global panic. Not yet.
Agreed. What about selection protocols? Who gets in and who doesn't?
Geneticists, engineers, anyone with skills needed to rebuild.
And their families?
We'll need cultural diversity too. Demographic representation. This isn't just about surviving. It's about preserving what makes us human.
That's assuming quite a lot, like if there will even be a world to rebuild.
We have to assume that. Otherwise, what's the point?
I'll have my team draw up the protocols. But let's be clear, this is still Plan B. Plan A is the Zethers stopping this thing.
Absolutely. Our focus remains on the Zethers. This is just insurance.
What's their timeline looking like?
They're consolidating plans now, but from what I've heard, they're considering using Torathra.
Torathra? The class one? You want to find and unleash that monster?
Fight fire with fire. If Behemoth killed Gordner, maybe Torathra can at least wound Behemoth.
Or maybe Torathra gets killed too, and we've just released 2 apocalyptic monsters instead of 1.
It's not my favorite plan either, but we're running out of options.
What's their backup?
Something about forcing it underwater, and a last-ditch direct assault.
The ocean plan might actually work. Deep sea pressure could affect even something that size.
That's what they're thinking. But first, they need to figure out how to lure it there.
And the direct assault?
Every hunter, every weapon, a coordinated strike at whatever weak point they can find.
So a suicide mission?
Potentially, but they've accepted the risks.
They always do. That's why they're the Zethers.
Exactly, which is why I believe in them.
I believe in them too, but I also believe in preparing for the worst. The reporter predicts Behemoth will hit another population center within 24 hours, so we don't have much time.
Where?
Analyzing movement patterns. Could be Nerovitsia, population 1.2 million.
Can we evacuate them?
Not all of them, not in time. An evacuation causes panic. Panic means traffic jams. People staying put when they should be running.
So what do we do?
Strategic evacuation. Key personnel first, then expand outward as resources allow.
And just abandon the rest?
We have to be pragmatic. The needs of the many.
Don't quote philosophy at me. These are real people, with real lives.
And real deaths if we don't act. We have to make hard choices, Nadi.
Fine, start the evacuation, but make it seem like a drill. Keep panic to a minimum.
Understood. And the bunker upgrades?
Full priority, whatever resources you need.
I'll make it happen. In fact, I've already got the concept work in place as we speak. But Notre Dame,
yes?
Despite everything I've said, I still believe in the Zethers. If anyone can pull off a miracle, it's them.
Let's hope you're right. For all our sakes.
For humanity's sake.
I've known them for years, trained with them. If anyone can figure this out, it's them.
I hope so. I really do. But hope isn't a strategy, so I'll get those bunkers upgraded.
Do it, and keep me updated on everything.
Will do.
It's been long enough. What do we have?
Well, I've completed my research on Torathra, and I've got to say, this is either brilliant or suicidal.
Let's hear it then.
Torathra hasn't been seen in almost 80 years, but there are patterns to its appearances. It seems drawn to massive energy discharges, especially those associated with death.
Like battlefields.
Exactly. The last confirmed sighting was during World War II, at the Battle of Kursk.
Crap. Can we even replicate those conditions?
Possibly. We'd need to stage something massive, a controlled detonation of multiple high-yield weapons, in a remote location.
Then what? We just hope both monsters show up for a cage match?
Not exactly. Once Torathra appears, we use it as bait, direct it toward Behemoth's path.
And then?
We've been in contact with the nuclear divisions. They're prepared to authorize everything. Plasma warheads, thermonuclear devices, even the experimental kinetic bombardment system. So when the 2 monsters engage, we hit them with everything.
But what about casualties? These weapons are world enders in themselves. Is this really the best option?
It is if we can draw them to the right location, but that's a big if.
I like this plan. It's got that fighting fire with fire simplicity.
But releasing Torathra creates its own risks. What if it doesn't engage Behemoth? What if it just runs?
Then we're in trouble, but all historical data suggests it won't back down. Torathra is territorial and extremely aggressive.
Okay. Understood. Now, Menziki, what are your findings on Plan B?
The ocean plan is technically feasible. We've been analyzing Behemoth's movement patterns. It seems to follow geothermal activity and avoid deep water crossings.
So it doesn't like water?
More like it prefers land. Makes sense for something that lives in the crust. But the key is this. The pressures at the bottom of the Marianas Trench would affect even something that size.
But how do we get it there?
That's where it gets interesting. The science division has been developing a gravitational warp device. Experimental technology, but it works.
Hold up. A what now?
Think of it as a portable black hole, small enough to transport, powerful enough to create localized gravity wells. If we can plant it on Behemoth, we could force it down into the deepest part of the ocean.
And drown it?
That's the hope. Even if it can withstand the pressure, it might not be able to breathe.
Or it might swim right back up.
Not with the gravitational device active. It would be trapped.
How close would someone need to get to plant this device?
That's the catch. It has to be placed directly on the creature, preferably near a vital area.
So one of us has to die to do this?
Not necessarily. We could use remote drones, or one of us could attempt a precision drop.
Let's table that part of the discussion for now. As for Plan C, I've been analyzing our conventional options, and they're limited.
How limited?
Very. We're talking about a coordinated strike, using every hunter, every military unit, every weapon system on the planet.
A last stand, then?
Exactly. The odds aren't good, but if Plans A and B fail, it's all we've got.
But sir, the losses that would entail.
Indeed, they would be catastrophic. Even with full civilian evacuation, we'd be looking at millions of deaths, and that's assuming we win.
Which is not guaranteed.
Not even close, but it's better than doing nothing.
So to summarize, Plan A, monster cage match followed by nukes. Plan B, underwater pressure trap. Plan C, throw everything we have at it and pray.
That about covers it. Any other ideas?
Yes, actually, I've been thinking, what if we combine elements? Use Torathra to weaken it, then try the ocean plan?
Possible, but complex. Too many moving parts.
I agree. Better to focus on each plan sequentially. If one fails, move to the next.
All right, team. We move out at 0600. Get some rest. Tomorrow is going to be the most important day of our lives, and possibly the most important day in human history.
No pressure or anything.
Just another Tuesday for the Zethers.
Try to sleep. I'll see you both at the transport.
Roger that. Good night.
Night. Hello? I-System? You there?
Good evening, Hunter Menzeki. You're accessing this terminal quite late. How may I assist you?
Can't sleep. Too much on my mind. Need a refresher on Torathra.
Torathra, the apex predator of our classification system. Are you seeking specific information or a general overview?
Everything you've got. Might be our only hope against Behemoth.
Very well. Torathra is classified as the #1 most dangerous monster in our current database. Its name derives from Toradoth, the ancient Mesopotamian deity of black holes and cosmic consumption.
Black holes? That's unsettling.
Indeed. Torathra is not a conventional organism. It appears to be composed of a strange black mass with properties that defy standard physical laws.
Define strange black mass.
Witnesses describe it as a fluid-like substance, capable of changing shape at will, sometimes appearing solid, other times vaporous. It absorbs light, making direct observation difficult.
So it's adaptable. Great.
Extremely so. Torathra has been documented only twice in verifiable modern history, although ancient legends suggest more frequent appearances.
Tell me about those 2 times.
The first confirmed encounter occurred during the late Pleistocene era, approximately 12,000 years ago, during the height of the last ice age.
How do we know about it then?
Cave paintings discovered across multiple continents, all depicting the same entity. Anthropological evidence suggests Torathra eliminated approximately 50% of the human population. The resulting food scarcity during the Ice Age created ideal hunting conditions.
And the second appearance?
July 12, 1943, during the Battle of Kursk, the largest tank battle in history.
World War II.
Correct. Both German and Soviet forces reported a black storm emerging from the ground. Communications ceased shortly thereafter. A Soviet private named Alexei Petrov documented the event in his journal until his entries abruptly ended.
Any survivors?
None. Over 8,000 soldiers disappeared, along with hundreds of tanks and artillery pieces. The official explanation was an ammunition depot explosion. But classified documents tell a different story.
Why did it attack there?
Analysis suggests Torathra is attracted to concentrated energy, particularly that released during mass casualty events. It appears to feed on both physical matter and what some researchers term death energy.
That's comforting. Does it have any weaknesses?
Unknown. No successful engagement has been recorded. Theoretical models suggest extreme cold might slow it down, but this remains untested.
How big is it?
Variable. It can alter its size and mass. At Kursk, it expanded to cover approximately 1 square kilometer, but eyewitness accounts describe it beginning as a small black sphere, no larger than a tank.
So we're planning to use a shape-shifting death blob to fight a 4,000-kilometer mountain-eating worm.
An interesting strategy. The probability models for such an encounter are inconclusive.
That's AI talk for you're screwed, right?
I would not phrase it so colloquially, but the variables are indeed complex, and the outcomes highly unpredictable.
Great. Can't wait. Thanks, Teller.
You're welcome. Is there anything else else you'd like to know?
Yeah, what are my chances of surviving tomorrow?
Calculating personal survival probability based on historical data and mission parameters. I'm afraid I'm not programmed to provide that information.
Sure you aren't. But if you were?
If hypothetically I were to calculate such a probability, I would say that Hunter Menziki has consistently defied statistical models. Your survival rate on previous impossible missions exceeds expected outcomes by 327%. So perhaps traditional probability is not applicable in your case.
I'll take that as a compliment.
As it was intended. Good luck tomorrow, Hunter Menziki. The fate of humanity may well rest in your hands.
No pressure or anything. Good night, Teller.
Good night.
Communications check. All units report in.
Blackhawk Alpha online. Weapons systems green. Bait secured.
Blackhawk Bravo checking in. All systems operational. Ready to rock and roll.
Blackhawk Charlie, all clear. Command, this is Zethers' team. We are airborne and en route to drop zone.
Copy that, Zethers. Good hunting. The world is counting on you.
No pressure. All right then, team. Let's go over the plan one more time.
Drop the bait in the African plains. Wait for Torathra to take it. Then lead it north to the Saharan mountains.
Where Behemoth was last detected. And where our nuclear strike packages are ready. Got it.
Exactly. And then once the two engage, we light them both up. Questions?
Yeah. What if Torathra ignores the bait?
Then we move to Plan B, the gravitational device.
And if Behemoth doesn't show?
Then we have bigger problems. That thing doesn't stay still for long.
ETA to drop zone?
Approximately 47 minutes. We're making good time.
Everyone check your gear. This isn't a normal hunt. We're dealing with the two most dangerous creatures on the planet.
Just another Tuesday for the Zethers, right?
If we survive this, I'll personally buy you that retirement beach house you've been talking about.
I'll hold you to that. Oceanfront, with a bar.
I hope you've got deep pockets, Howarkid, because we're all walking away from this. Mark my words.
That's the spirit.
Approaching drop zone. I have visual on the plains. Thermal imaging showing large elephant herds below.
Perfect. That's Torathra's favorite hunting ground.
Let's hope it's hungry today.
Preparing to release the bait. Potardi, confirm bait readiness.
Bait package is active. Uranium flesh mixture is emitting the energy signature. Should be irresistible to our target.
Drop in 3, 2, 1 ... Bait away.
Visual confirmation, the package has landed. Now we wait.
Taking up observation position. 2 kilometers above drop point. Wind conditions stable.
Get your pilots to put the Black Hawks into silent mode. Let's not spook it.
3 hours in, no sign of Torathra. Beginning to wonder if this is going to work.
Patience. It'll come.
You spoke too soon. I'm picking up something on thermal. Southeast quadrant, about 5 clicks out.
Can you confirm?
Not yet. The thermal signature is negative, like it's absorbing heat instead of emitting it.
That's it. That's Torathra. Nothing else reads like that, so it must be it.
All units, battle stations, prepare for immediate engagement.
Holy, it's moving fast. Way faster than the briefing suggested.
I have a visual. It's heading straight for the bait.
Perfect. Let it take the bait. Then we start phase 2.
This thing is seriously freaking me out.
It's reached the bait. Torathra is consuming the package.
Initiate phase 2 then. All units, move to position. We need to lead it north.
Releasing secondary lures, creating a trail toward the Saharan mountains.
It's following. Torathra is on the move, tracking our trail.
Maintain distance. Don't let it get too close. Remember what happened at Kursk.
Don't need to tell me twice. This thing gives me the creeps.
Current speed is 240 kilometers per hour. It's gaining on us.
Increase altitude. Push it to maximum power. We need to stay ahead of it.
This thing is determined. It really wants that bait.
ETA to Saharan mountains?
Approximately 30 minutes. If we can maintain this pace.
Speed increasing to 320 kilometers per hour. We can't outrun it much longer.
We don't need to outrun it. Just stay ahead of it until we reach the mountains. Command, this is Black Hawk Bravo. Target is following as planned. Prepare nuclear strike packages.
Copy that, Bravo. Strike packages armed and ready, awaiting your signal.
Mountains in sight. Beginning approach to target zone.
Torathra still in pursuit. Less than 1 kilometer behind us now.
Cut it pretty close, don't you think?
Any sign of Behemoth?
Negative. No seismic activity detected.
Keep your eyes open. It has to be here somewhere.
Dropping final bait package, right at the coordinates.
All units pull up. I want maximum altitude. Now!
Torathra is closing fast. It's going to reach us before we can...
Holy Mother of God. It just tore through that mountain.
Evasive maneuvers. Pull up, pull up.
It's reaching for me. That thing has arms.
Barely missed me. I felt the Black Hawk shake. Another few meters and I'd be gone too.
Steady. It's noticed the bait. Look.
Confirmed. Torathra is diverting to the final package. It stopped pursuing us.
That was way too close. Look at it feeding. It's spawning smaller versions of itself.
Defensive mechanism, just like the briefing said. Now we wait for Behemoth.
How long do we give it?
Not long. Behemoth should sense the disturbance. All the seismic activity Torathra just caused.
If our intel is correct. Big if.
Command, what's the status on those nukes?
All systems green. Ready to fire on your mark. We've got plasma, thermonuclear, and kinetic packages locked on target zone.
Stand by. We need visual confirmation of both targets before we strike.
I have a bad feeling about this. Something's wrong.
How?
It's too quiet. Behemoth should have sensed us by now.
Wait, do you feel that?
The vibrations in the air? Yeah, I feel it.
Seismic sensors going crazy. Massive movement beneath the surface. It's coming!
Look at the mountains. They're collapsing.
All units maintain position. This is it. Stay high and safe.
The ground is opening up. Something's emerging.
Oh my god, it's massive.
That's Behemoth. Look at the size of it. The reports weren't exaggerating.
Torathra isn't moving. It's just watching.
Not for long. Behemoth sees it. It's moving toward Torathra.
All units, prepare for nuclear strike. As soon as Behemoth engages, we hit them both.
Behemoth is approaching Torathra. The black mass is changing shape again, getting larger, defensive posture.
It's not going to matter. Look at the size difference.
Steady. Wait for the perfect moment.
Behemoth is opening its mouth. It's going to eat it.
No, it just ate Torathra. One bite. The #1 monster in the world. Gone in one bite.
Now, command, fire everything. Authorization code Zether Omega.
Firing all packages. Impact in 5, 4 dots, 3 dots, 2 dots, 1 dot dot dot.
All units brace for shockwave. Maximum distance.
First impact. Direct hit!
Second wave incoming. Multiple detonations.
The plasma warheads are hitting. Kinetic rods inbound.
I can't see anything. The smoke and plasma cloud is too thick.
That's the most firepower I've ever seen in one place. Nothing could survive that. Nothing.
Thermal imaging is useless. Too much heat from the explosions. We'll have to wait for the smoke to clear.
Maintain position. Keep your eyes open. This isn't over until we confirm the kill.
How long until we can see?
With these wind conditions, maybe 5 minutes. Maybe more.
Then we wait and pray we just saved the world.
And if we didn't?
Then we move to Plan B.
Let's hope it doesn't come to that. The smoke is clearing. I'm getting visual again.
What do you see?
I can't.
Holy Mother of God. It's still standing.
God damn it, how? Nothing could survive that. Nothing.
The thermal readings. Its body temperature hasn't even changed. It's like the nukes were just a mild inconvenience.
Look at that thing. Not even a burn mark.
Command, are you seeing this?
Oh, we see it all right. Our satellites confirm that the target is still active. No apparent damage either.
What the hell do we do now?
Proceed with Plan B. Get it to the ocean. That's our only chance now.
Copy that. Moving to Plan B. Attention all units. We are proceeding with Plan B. I repeat, Plan B is now active.
It's looking at us. I think it's angry. How could it possibly survive that?
Doesn't matter how, only matters that it did. Menziki, status on the gravitational device?
Device is primed and ready, but we still have to get this thing to the ocean. That's 200 kilometers from here.
It's moving. Behemoth is advancing toward our position.
Perfect. Let's use that. All units, engage evasive maneuvers. Head east toward the Mediterranean. Draw it to us.
You want us to taunt it after what we just saw?
Not taunt it, just get its attention. Use the secondary lures.
Deploying lures now. Let's hope this works better than the nukes.
It's following. Behemoth is pursuing us, moving faster than expected.
All helicopters, maximum speed. Lead it straight to the water.
At this pace, ETA to coastline is 12 minutes. If we survive that long.
Look at it move. That thing can run. Mountains are collapsing under its weight.
Stay focused. Just keep ahead of it. We've got one shot at this.
I'm picking up something. The beast's body temperature is changing. It's adapting.
To what?
Not sure, but after the nuclear strike, its biology seems to be reconfiguring.
That can't be good.
Coastline visible. 2 minutes out.
Behemoth still in pursuit. It's gaining on us.
Almost there. Is the gravitational device ready?
Ready for deployment. I'll need to get close though. Real close.
We'll worry about that when we're over water.
Ocean ahead. Behemoth still following.
It's not slowing down. Does it understand what water is?
Doesn't matter, as long as it follows us in.
We're over the water. 100 meters. 200 meters.
Look at that. It's going in.
Now! Menziki, deploy the device.
On it! Making approach. I need to get lower.
Be careful. Don't get too close.
I can see it swimming. This thing moves through water like it was born in it. Approaching drop point.
Minziki, your altitude is too low. Pull up!
Almost there. Deploy in 3, 2, 1, dot. Device away. Direct hit on target.
All units pull back to safe distance. Gravitational device activating in 10 seconds.
I'm at minimum safe distance.
Still climbing.
Device activation in 3, 2, 1, dot. Active.
Visual confirmation. The water is swirling, creating a massive whirlpool.
It's working. Behemoth is being pulled down. Look at the size of that vortex.
Command, we have successful deployment. Gravitational device is active. Target is descending into the deep sea trench.
Excellent work, Zethers. Maintain observation. Confirm the target remains submerged.
Copy that. Keep your eyes on that water, boys.
The vortex is stabilizing, device performing as expected. Behemoth should be at approximately 3,000 meters depth now.
And sinking fast. Even something that size can't fight against that gravity well.
Let's not celebrate yet. We need confirmation it stays down there.
At that depth, the pressure would crush a normal creature. But after what we saw with the nukes...
I'm cautiously optimistic. Nothing can withstand the pressures at the bottom of the trench. Not even Behemoth.
I hope you're right.
Guys, I'm getting a huge spike in seismic activity coming from the ocean floor. It's moving.
No way. The device should be holding it down though, right?
Putardi, what are the readings?
Massive energy spike. Behemoth is fighting the gravitational pull. Its body temperature is rising exponentially.
Look at the water. Something's happening.
Oh my god, those are...
Tsunamis. Massive ones. Readings are off the charts.
How is this possible? It's manipulating the entire ocean. Plan B is failing.
Command, we have a problem. Behemoth is fighting back, creating tsunamis.
We see it. Coastal evacuations underway. Stay on station. Report developments.
Copy that.
The water is receding, like it's being pushed away.
It's like Moses parting the Red Sea.
I can see the goddamn seabed. It's created a dry path in the middle of the ocean.
There it is. I can see Behemoth and the gravitational device.
It's spitting out the device. Behemoth just ejected it.
No, this isn't right. The gravity should be affecting everything in range.
Tell that to the monster. Look, it crushed the device.
Command, gravitational device has failed. Repeat, Plan B has failed. Target is resurfacing.
Understood. Fall back to defensive positions. Plan C is now in effect.
Copy that. All units return to base. Plan C is now active.
It's moving again. Behemoth is heading back to land.
Where's it going?
Tracking its trajectory. It's heading back to the Sahara, straight toward the forward base.
That's where all our forces are gathered. It's heading right for them.
Could it know? Is it hunting us?
Doesn't matter. Plan C is our last option. Every weapon, every hunter, every soldier, one final stand.
At least we don't have to lure it there. It's going on its own.
Maybe it's angry about the nukes and the gravity device.
Or maybe it's just hungry and we're the next meal.
If this is going to be our last stand, then let's make sure it's one to remember.
It won't be our last. We're going to find a way. We have to.
Look at it go, charging across the landscape, straight toward our forces.
All helicopters, full speed. We need to get back before it does. Prepare for Plan C.
For humanity.
For Earth.
For everything.
We're approaching the defense line. I can see our forces. Every tank, jet, and artillery piece we have.
And it won't be enough, not after what we've seen.
Not with that attitude, boss. We've got the entire world's military gathered here. That has to count for something.
You saw what happened with the nukes and the gravitational device. Nothing touches this thing.
Behemoth is closing fast. ETA 15 minutes, maybe less.
Look at our forces down there, sitting ducks.
General, are you seeing the situation?
I'm seeing it. The beast is coming straight for us. I can't believe plans A and B failed.
It's horrific, sir. This thing shrugged off our entire nuclear arsenal and spit out a gravitational device.
How is that even possible?
I don't know. It defies everything we understand about physics, about life itself.
What about weaknesses? Anything at all?
Nothing we've found. It adapted to everything we threw at it.
Then we may be looking at the end. I'm ordering global evacuation to the bunkers.
Will that even help?
Probably not. Something that can move through the Earth's crust. The bunkers won't hold for long, but it might buy some time. For what? I don't know.
We'll keep fighting until the end.
I know you will. That's why you're the Zethers, humanity's last hope. Even when there is no hope left.
Notre Dame. The bunkers are ready, but they won't hold against that thing. Not for long.
I know, but what choice do we have?
None. Absolutely none. I'm initiating global evacuation protocols. But
But what?
This is the end, isn't it? After all our planning, all our fighting, this is how humanity goes out.
It's not over yet. The Zethers are still fighting.
Against that? What can they possibly do that nukes couldn't?
That's not for me to know yet. But if anyone can find a way, it's them.
I'm hovering above our forces now. I can see Behemoth approaching from the horizon. It's gotten bigger somehow.
Our forces are in position, every weapon aimed and ready, for all the good it will do.
No! I can't just sit here and watch this. Thousands of soldiers about to be slaughtered. For nothing.
And we've tried everything.
No, not everything.
What are you talking about?
I still have a gravitational warper, a spare, from the backup plan.
That won't work, you idiot. We already tried that. It just spat it out.
Because we were trying to pull it down, into the ocean. What if we do the opposite?
The opposite?
We pull it up, into space.
Into space. That could actually work.
Wait, the gravitational device would have to be inside it to lift something that massive.
I know.
We have no delivery method. All our missiles failed. How would we get it inside?
We have one delivery method left. Me.
What? Are you insane?
Probably, but I've been called worse.
Menziki, what are you suggesting?
I'm suggesting I take the gravitational device, get my pilot to hover over Behemoth, and I parachute into its mouth. Then when it opens to eat me, I shove the damn thing down its throat.
That's suicide. You'd never survive.
That's the point.
No, absolutely not. I forbid it.
With all due respect, boss, this isn't your call. Look at it. That's the end of everything, unless I do this.
There has to be another way.
There's no time to find one. Behemoth will reach our lines in minutes.
Menziki, you can't.
I can, and I will. One life for billions. Seems like a fair trade.
But, Menziki,
Tell my family I love them, and that I did this for them too. For everyone.
Menziki, please.
I've made up my mind. My pilot is already heading toward intercept position. The device is primed for reverse polarity. It'll pull upward, into the sky, into space.
I can't believe this is happening.
Believe it, and remember it. Tell them I wasn't afraid. When history asks,
You're the bravest of us all. Always have been.
not brave, just doing what needs to be done, like we always do.
Menziki, it's been an honor.
The honor was all mine, serving with the best, fighting the worst. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Is there nothing I can say to change your mind?
You know there isn't. That's why you're our leader. You understand sacrifice better than anyone.
Godspeed, Menziki. Goodbye.
See you on the other side, someday, but not today. I'm in position. Behemoth is below me. Time to jump. Good luck, everyone. I'm going in.
Zethers report. What's happening? Do we have contact? Is there still an army left?
Not yet, sir, but Menziki he's jumping into Behemoth.
What the hell? Why would he do that?
Gravitational device. Reverse polarity. He's trying to send it into space.
My god, is it working?
I can see him. Parachute deployed. He's falling right toward it.
The military has opened fire. Behemoth is roaring.
Its mouth is open. He's going in. I can't look.
Menziki, he did it. He's inside.
Now what? How long until...
Look, it's happening.
It stopped moving. Behemoth is frozen in place, just standing there.
The gravitational field is activating. It's being pulled upward.
It's lifting off the ground. Holy Mother of God.
It's working. It's actually working.
The device must be in its gut. Perfect placement. It can't spit it out this time.
Look at the speed. It's accelerating. Faster and faster.
It's like a rocket, straight up, into the atmosphere.
Menziki did it. That crazy bastard actually did it.
I can barely see it now. Just a speck, getting smaller and smaller.
And now it's gone. Into space, where it can't hurt anyone anymore.
Menziki, he saved us all. He saved the whole damn world.
At the cost of his own life.
Zethers, confirm status. I've lost all thermal readings.
Sir, Behemoth is gone. Menziki sent it into space.
I'm getting the reports now. Our satellites are tracking it. It's already past the moon and accelerating.
And Menziki?
I'm sorry, Howakid. He's gone. But his sacrifice, he saved humanity.
I know. That's who he was. Who he'll always be remembered as.
Return to base. The world needs to hear what happened, and we need to honor him as he deserves.
Copy that. We're on our way.
I can't believe he's gone, just like that.
He knew what he was doing. He made his choice.
But why him? Why did it have to be him?
Because he was Menziki. Always the first to jump. The first to risk everything.
And the last to think about himself.
Exactly. Come on, let's get the Black Hawks to take us back to base. We've got a lot to report.
And one hell of a funeral to plan, for the greatest hero mankind has ever known.
Updated entry. Behemoth. Classification. Beyond class extinction. Status. Neutralized. Expelled from Earth's atmosphere. Threat level, Omega, historical. Would you like to review the complete analysis?
Yes, I want everything we know for the historical record.
Generating comprehensive analysis. Behemoth represents the most significant cryptid entity ever documented in human history. Our data indicates it has existed within Earth's crust for potentially millions of years, dormant until recent seismic activities disturbed its hibernation.
Size parameters?
Final measurements confirm a length of approximately 4,000 kilometers, with a mass exceeding 1.7 billion tons, making it larger than many small countries.
How did something that size remain undetected?
Behemoth appears to have evolved to exist primarily within the lithosphere, moving through solid rock by generating localized tectonic liquefaction. This allowed it to remain undetected until it chose to surface.
And what triggered it to surface?
Evidence suggests it was hunting, specifically targeting Gordona, a Class 5 entity. After consuming Gordona, it began hunting other large entities, including Torathra and eventually human population centers.
Diet?
Omnivorous with preference for high-energy sources. It consumed entire mountains for their mineral content, as well as organic matter like forests and, unfortunately, cities. Its digestive system could process virtually any material.
Appearance?
Primarily reptilian in overall morphology, with characteristics resembling both lizards and prehistoric dinosaurs. Its exterior was covered in rock-like scales that had fused with actual geological materials, making its hide nearly indistinguishable from the surrounding terrain when stationary.
And its resistance to our weapons?
Unprecedented. Behemoth's cellular structure showed remarkable adaptive capabilities. When exposed to nuclear radiation, it absorbed and redistributed the energy. The extreme pressures of deep ocean trenches were similarly ineffective. Its ability to manipulate gravitational forces likely evolved as a necessity for moving its massive form through solid Earth.
Origin theories?
Several possibilities exist. Theory 1. Behemoth evolved naturally over millions of years, adapting to life within the planet's crust. Theory 2. It may be an extraterrestrial entity that crashed into Earth during its formative period. Theory 3. It could be a manifestation of the planet's own defense mechanisms, similar to an antibody responding to perceived threats.
Which theory has the most supporting evidence?
The extraterrestrial origin theory. Tissue samples recovered from the battlefield show elements and compounds not found naturally on Earth. Additionally, its ability to survive in the vacuum of space suggests origins beyond our planet.
Life cycle?
Unknown, but estimated to be extraordinarily long. Carbon dating of cells shed during its emergence date back over 65 million years, suggesting it may have been present during the Cretaceous-Paleogene extinction event, possibly even playing a role in it.
Reproduction?
No evidence of reproductive organs or processes were observed. However, its cellular structure showed remarkable regenerative capabilities, potentially indicating asexual reproduction through fragmentation, though this remains speculative.
Intelligence level?
Difficult to quantify using human metrics. However, Behemoth demonstrated complex problem-solving abilities, strategic hunting behaviors, and adaptive responses to threats. Its decision to target military installations and population centers was not random, but methodical and calculated.
So it was sentient?
Evidence strongly suggests sentience, perhaps even a form of collective consciousness. The neural network observed in tissue samples was unlike anything in our database. More complex than any known organism.
Could it communicate?
No conventional communication was observed. However, sensitive instruments detected complex electromagnetic pulses emanating from its brainstem equivalent. These pulses increased in frequency when it encountered human technology, suggesting potential attempts at communication or information gathering.
Weaknesses?
Despite its seemingly invulnerable nature, 2 exploitable weaknesses were identified. First, its digestive system could not immediately neutralize threats once ingested, allowing the gravitational device to function before being destroyed. Second, while it could manipulate gravity to move through Earth, it could not counter external gravitational manipulation effectively. This ultimately led to its neutralization.
Current status?
Based on satellite tracking and deep space telemetry, Behemoth is currently 2.7 million kilometers from Earth and accelerating. The gravitational device continues to function, propelling it further into space. Current trajectory suggests it will exit the solar system within 47 days.
Is there any possibility of its return?
Probability calculations indicate a 0.0003% chance of return. The gravitational device would need to catastrophically fail, and Behemoth would need to overcome the momentum of its current trajectory. Given these factors, return is classified as extremely unlikely.
And if it did return?
We now possess the knowledge to combat it, specifically the gravitational reversal technique proven effective by Hunter Menziki. Multiple such devices are now being manufactured as a precautionary measure, and defensive protocols have been established globally.
What about other entities like Behemoth?
That remains the most concerning unknown. If one such entity existed within our planet, there is no scientific reason to believe it was unique. Other similar entities may exist in deeper regions of the crust, or in other parts of the world.
Are we monitoring for that possibility?
Affirmative. A global network of seismic sensors has been established, specifically calibrated to detect the unique movement patterns of crust-dwelling entities. Additionally, satellite thermal imaging has been enhanced to detect anomalous temperature variations that preceded Behemoth's emergence.
Historical references?
Interestingly, many ancient texts appear to describe entities similar to Behemoth. The biblical Behemoth and Leviathan, the Norse Jörmungandr, the Hindu Shesha, all describe massive serpentine or reptilian creatures of impossible size, often associated with the earth or sea.
So our ancestors might have encountered it?
Or others like it. Ancient cave paintings discovered during the investigation show remarkably accurate depictions of what we now know as Behemoth, dating back over 30,000 years, suggesting periodic emergences throughout human history.
Environmental impact?
Behemoth's movement through the crust caused significant geological disturbances, including the formation of new mountain ranges, the collapse of existing formations, and the creation of deep trenches. These changes have permanently altered the topography of several regions, particularly in North Africa and the Mediterranean.
Casualties?
Final casualty count from direct interaction with Behemoth: approximately 417,000 individuals, primarily from the destruction of Torkania City and several smaller settlements. Secondary effects, including tsunamis and earthquakes, added approximately 89,000 more casualties.
And heroes?
Hunter Menziki of the Zethers Elite Unit has been posthumously awarded the highest honors by every nation on Earth. His sacrifice directly resulted in the neutralization of Behemoth, saving potentially billions of lives. The remaining Zethers members, Hawasid and Patadi, have also been recognized for their pivotal roles, as have the fallen members of Alpha 7. Behemoth represents both the greatest threat humanity has ever faced and a turning point in our understanding of our world. Its existence proves that life can evolve in environments we previously thought impossible, and that entities of truly planet-altering scale can exist. This knowledge has fundamentally changed our approach to monster classification, research, and defense.
A new defense initiative has already been proposed, correct?
Correct. The Menziki Protocol establishes a three-tiered defense system, combining enhanced monitoring, rapid response capabilities, and gravitational weaponry, designed specifically to counter planet-scale threats.
And what of Behemoth itself, now drifting through space?
It remains alive, according to our latest readings, adapting to the vacuum of space. Its biological processes slowing, but not ceasing. Perhaps it will find another planet. Perhaps it will drift eternally. Either way, Earth is safe from its hunger.
For now, at least. Thank you, Teller. This information will be crucial for future generations.
You're welcome, General. Knowledge is our greatest defense. This entry will remain in our databases as a testament to what was faced, and what was overcome through humanity's courage and sacrifice.